Hello. Notoriously the most difficult start in Project Zomboid. The CDDA challenge features you trapped in an inferno. Our character is Gerald Williams. He is nude. His stats are garbage. Underweight, weak, slow reader, and out of shape. We begin with a character bleeding, wet, a runny nose, in pain, and almost completely blackout drunk. This is a man who has fallen out of the shower with glass shards in his crotch. He has no protection. Everything else is worthless. It's my job to get Gerald out of this mess and hopefully up to speed. We will need to first get the glass shards out of my crotch, and that's probably the most urgent. Well, I found these sheets. I'm gonna rip them, and then we can literally grab with our hand the glass shards out of my crotch. Sneezing doesn't make anything better. Bandages do. Now bandaged, we can continue on our spiritual journey throughout the house, ripping off more sheets and taking everything. Taking everything is going to be the name of the ball game here. We're going to open the door and there's fire now. All right, a starter house is no longer an option. My one regret is that we won't have shoes from this endeavor. But let's just find out if this zombie is going to perish before we, okay, let's see. Are you going to? Nope. Yeah, we are completely screwed then here. I don't want to be bleeding from the feet, so we're just going to see if we can get over to the next house. Now, making our way over, the fire has begun to spread. We're going to the second house. Now, if we can find some shoes, that would be a real godsend here, but it's not going to be an easy road. There should be one zombie in here whom I'm going to try to smash to death with my bare feet. Not great, but it will give us some shoes. Shoes are an utter necessity. We can't get by without them. We're also going to wear his polo neck sweater. We'll wear that. And his pants will wear those, and his tank top will wear those as well. Our character is generally ass, but our life just got a lot better because we got clothes. Alright, now there is a chance I will survive in the long term, so I'm going to start to walk away. This is about as fast as I can walk. Like I said, a very bad challenge in general. I'm gonna go ahead and rip more of these sheets. Rip the sheets. Okay, now we have more bandages. Great. Our health is still dwindling, though. Likely because of the dirty bandage. Our lives still aren't good by any means. We gotta get to a medical center so that we can patch up a little bit more from here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to find some space to think around here. Okay, now, suddenly rebandaged. My life just got a lot better. Of course, there are hordes of undead coming in from all sides, but we do have clothes. Clothes are a positive. Okay, now that we finally have time and space to think, we can get somewhere safe. So using protection, we make our way down the road. That woman has a katana lodged in her chest. That would have been nice. But are we gonna... Good, we're gonna get out of there. There's gonna be a lot of close shaves like this in the first 10 minutes or so. Again, not really the ideal start to Project Zomboid. You'd want to be stealthy, ideally. Not really a stealthy start. Finally, we've made it to the edge of town. Now, drawing in a train of hundreds of zombies, we can make our way out of this hellhole. And to, yes, that's right, the main road. Here we are. Wonderful, isn't it? Wonderful. And where to next? Where to next? We're going into the woods. That's gonna be the only safe place for miles around. Here, literally nothing is safe. We've made it out of civilization with the deadly virus, but at least I'm safe inside my mind. And back to my favorite log business. Ah, logging. How I missed you. The constant gnawing feeling that I'm about to die. I've not even backed up my saves because I want to be more immersed in the game. Now that we actually have some space and time to quiet ourselves, although there are still many zombies around, I'm gonna go ahead and examine my situation. Currently, the most deadly thing is just the fact that I'm hypothermic. If I stay out here too long without anything on me, I will die of cold. It's improving, but improving from hypothermic isn't really a great place to be. We just got rid of our drunkenness, that's now gone. But we have now replaced that with high exertion. We can barely jog. So we're gonna go head on down this road and hopefully arrive at some sort of safety. But we're gonna need a sewing needle if we want to patch up this deep wound in my crotch. and then live to tell the tale. Don't forget, our character is still ass. He is no good at anything. We're gonna need to do a lot of, where is it now? I gotta X out of this menu. Exercise. Exercise will be our friend, but we won't do it until we get somewhere safe. Now then, look here. We have made it to the first place. Great to be here. Not for long. There's gonna be more shit we have to deal with, and it looks like they've actually seen me at this location. That's a good thing. We're gonna allow them to just fuck, there's another one over here. Literally nothing is available to this character. He has even, I think he can fight one zombie at a time. I think. Yep, I just got to the maximum level of slow. Here we go. This is the fastest I can walk. As mentioned, I am a heaping pile of garbage. And so we'll just walk our way over here. Playing the game like a point and click. And then we'll walk over here. Just walk, walk, walk. And go inside. Great. Now we can get a glass of water. Hard-earned water. Wonderful. Now we might survive. A pen, of all things. Great. Just what I needed. And absolutely nothing is anywhere. Okay, let's take a moment to examine our character. We did manage to find a lot of warm clothing, which was really the only thing saving us here. Our character is still horribly sick. He has a nasty cold. We're no longer wet. We do have excessive exertion, though. We can rest to cure that. He's uncomfortable. I would be. And in minor pain. He's also freezing, but he's aided by the fact that he's indoors. So we're going to look around and see if we can find a car. If we can't find that, we're just going to proceed over to McCoy Lumber, which is the only safe place. Now, our wound has been infected, making our life a little bit more difficult. It's time to sleep. A quick search through the contents of these crates yields absolutely nothing, and this is going to lead us to another day of just hobbling around, being sick and wounded and infected on our way to McCoy. Now, after an engaging night of sitting on the ground and washing myself, I'm going to proceed to McCoy. As long as we don't encounter any zombies along the way, or too many on at the entrance, we should be able to secure a few supplies there. So I'm gonna walk through the woods here, and we'll just speed up. Okay, there is one there, and another one behind me too that I didn't notice. I think we're just gonna use our running for a moment to avoid this situation. Unless if they have anything lodged in them. This one actually does have something lodged in him, so we'll fight them here. I think we could fight two. I wouldn't try to do any more than that. If another one comes along, I'm running away. Yeah. Here we go. Very difficult fight. Very difficult fight. Arduous as hell against the zombies. Great, we got one, and the last one has some sort of hand fork lodged in his thigh. Wonderful. We can equip that. Not an amazing find, but it's better than nothing. And what of these pants? These pants are in great condition. I'll wear them. Fantastic. Great. This one also has some sort of knife lodged in him. We can use that as another weapon. The world keeps treating us better. Here we go. Our lives are getting so much better now. There, nice, great. An actual hunting knife. That's fantastic. We can grab that, and once we find a belt, we can attach it to it. We can also wear these jeans, which are slightly better condition, if ripped. Another one. Now, even if our lives aren't necessarily amazing yet, we've found enough to get by for the first bit. I'm confident we're gonna survive like 4 days. I'm gonna wear this jacket too. A long skirt might not necessarily fit me, but alright, you know, we're gonna grab these shoes as well. They offer better protection, although they don't give us as fast movement as our sneakers. I'll leave on the sneakers for now. Now, cars here are gonna be a big if, but if we could find one working, that's gonna save our lives for a good long time. A lug wrench is a great early find. Now, this cockroach will make me very unhappy, but it will feed me, so I'm gonna just go ahead and eat it. Great. Fun. Lots of protein. Now, this car, as it turns out, has a key right down here. Let's see if the thing has any gas, though, which I highly doubt, but it is possible. Nope, and it also appears as if the battery is dead. I'm leaving. But not without this plastic bag. We can destroy the window of the car and get inside. Now, our lives aren't great, but they've gotten so much better than when we began. For one thing, we're no longer naked. We also have this knife and this plastic bag. We can go all the way along this nice dirt path to get to what will hopefully be salvation here at the McCoy lumber mill, my favorite early spawn area. It features great food, technology, transportation, crime, and more undead, which in the absence of other undead can be quickly dispatched here. In fact, it's gonna warrant a putting down of my plastic, but let's put this down. All right, we've got a few here. I'm gonna take care of these ones. Just knock one to the ground and try to... That's not safe, not very safe at all, but... Okay, may have bitten off more than I can chew. I'm gonna need to negotiate this. And we'll do my next favorite thing by seeing if we can lock these ones in this shed. Right, let's just get one in here, and now... Bingo! And there it is. There it is. The pro zombie killing move. Great fun. I'm jumping out the window. I was going to say I'm humping out the window, but that wouldn't have been appropriate. There we go. Another bites the... Yes, the nuts. A great technique of espionage. And now just finishing off the last few. I think I have gotten better at this game. We'll just remove the last of their items, wear their socks, and take out the last few. Now, having killed a few of them, I'm more of a threat than before. We'll use similar techniques to clear out the rest of this warehouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that actually appears to be it in the entire warehouse. Just gonna check these last few stalls, and it would appear as if we're actually safe. And when I say safe, I mean infected and bleeding to death, possibly. I still have a deep wound that's infected, and I'm gonna need a needle to take care of. Now, with all of that stuff out of the way, it's time to do some old-fashioned looting. These crates can all be moved, and they contain a lot of supplies that I'll need. Nails, hammers, weapons, and other crafting survival supplies, but unfortunately there just aren't that many of them here. We did get a little bit luckier, it appears, over here, but not by much. We found only some adhesive bandages in these sinks. We did, however, find a tissue which can mute our sneezes and coughs for the next stage, and so after a short rest we can go... Now, before nightfall hits, I do want to hit the next part of this and see if we can find some thread and a needle. Probably even more valuable than a car right now, at least in the short term. So equipping our tissue, we should be able to quietly get in here and see if we can find any of these valuable medical supplies. Matches, useful, but not exactly what we need. Toolbox. We can definitely use that, at least for storage, and no dice on these lockers. Things are starting to get a little bit crowded here, so I'm gonna run out. It's just not worth it. There's too many in there to fight at once. Now, whenever you're playing PZ, it's good to characterize your needs as either short-term or long-term. Right now, I definitely need sleep and a rest. I may be very hungry, but I actually do have a good amount of meat on my bones. I have 60 kilograms, even though that it's dropping, that can wait. I can starve for a little bit longer here. I'm bound to find something like a trowel that could get me worms to feed myself later on in this mill. But right now, I think we'd better rest before we take on the other zombies in that next room. I don't want to die, and I'm gonna need a new day's strength before I get started over there. So after resting the night in this one warehouse, we wake up in the pitch black. And although I'm wary of doing any fighting at this time, I'm definitely gonna search these cars to see if I can get lucky on one of them. And this first car has no key, so no dice here. But it does have a tissue we can use to muffle our sneezes. And although it's a fossil oil truck, I spot no gas in it. No real luck with the other cars, no keys, no gas, no batteries, at least until we can hotwire the cars. And though I don't love doing it at night, I think it is safe to clear out a few of them here, at least in the moonlight. So I'll just fight. 1, broken window, we can shout. Another, 2, and now shouting out in the hallways, we actually get the last few out of this compound. 2 at a time, I can probably fight this many, but no more. 3, and that's the last of them. Oh wait, oh shit. 1 more. Yeah, that's it. Oh, 1 had a spear lodged in, which would be a great item. A holster. We can wear that. And police deputy clothing, but it's in horrible condition, so we won't use it. They actually knocked the hat right off of me. But still, I'm unscathed. All I have is my dirty bandage. Now we can go in and see if we can find any actual thread. Now we found the foreman. He has a lot of good gear we could use. Screwdriver, formal shirt, foreman vest. Yeah, this guy is loaded up. And we'll take his hard hat instead of our current cap. Another. Another. And that actually leads us over to the crates. A wood axe. Now before I start tearing apart all of these crates, I'm gonna have a look at the last few in one more of the warehouses. And if I can't find a needle and thread there, then I'm gonna have to start tearing things up. The final warehouse might have the supplies I'm looking for. And it definitely has the zombies to boot. 1, 3 over here. More than I can handle. A sledgehammer. 1. There are characters holding up pretty well for all of this. I'm surprised he hasn't been so fatigued yet. Now we're sort of in trouble. We managed to gather a train. Just taking them out one by one, separating by doors. And now we're just attempting to put as many walls between them and us. We can use these windows to our advantage and get them as they come in one by one. There, one took me down actually right there. Another. And I think that's about as close as we're gonna be to safe. Yeah. The day is won. And now to see if we have any spoils from this. Radish seeds. Not exactly what I needed, but it is food. Tow ropes for cars, we'll need that. A saw for dismantling things. And a needle. Finally, I needed that. I really needed that. I still don't know if I would call our situation good. We still have a deep wound that's infected. We do have a needle. We're still gonna need some thread. But our life isn't in danger for a little while. And potato seeds packets. We definitely need those. Cabbage seeds. And that's actually all that we have at McCoy. There's a few other supplies here, but no thread to speak of with which to sew up my wounds. I'm not in great shape, but I'll get by. One fear is just the fact that I don't have any food. Nor do I have a trowel with which to dig furrows. So although this was a decent early place to go, I just didn't find what I thought I would, so I'm gonna have to dismantle things here. By the time I'm done with it, this warehouse will look like a shell of its current self, and I'll probably be very underweight. I'm just gonna pick up these corpses, put a chair in here to sleep in, and now we disassemble everything. And we do find a welder mask, but unfortunately still no thread. Well, practically a whole day spent disassembling crates and still nothing. It doesn't seem as if there's any thread in here. I've checked almost all of them, and I think we'll have to check a few more warehouses, but I'm just gonna get this done on my own time. On the plus side, we did find a trowel, which is pretty... Holy shit. Yep, we got a horde movement. That's gonna be a reason to turn my back more. Well, we did manage to find a trowel, which is pretty much free food for the rest of the game. It doesn't mean that we'll be able to gain weight. We'll still need to plant cabbages and potatoes for that, but... On the other hand, we will survive. Probably. That, and we found a wood axe. Plenty more of stuff we need. See, well, we are in half-decent shape to get started. Plus, we have gained carpentry skill now. We're much better at that, which is always a good thing. The trowel was actually extremely urgent. I'm gonna have to dig some furrows and dig up some worms if I want to survive here. My health is falling away because I'm getting hunger pangs now. Yeah, we're just gonna start digging furrows in the ground until we manage to find a worm. We are dying. There we go, a worm. Great, just like the olden days. Fresh, farm-raised. And another. Okay, we're no longer starving, we're just very hungry, so... Our health isn't gonna fall away anymore. We'll live, we'll make it. And we just ripped up a bunch of clothing, and lo and behold, we did manage to get some thread out of the clothes we ripped up. I'm not quite sure what it was. I had suspected we might be able to do this, but it does appear as if we now have a needle and thread. So we can unbandage our wound, sew it up in the dark with no medical skill, and then actually not be about to die. Great, that's what this has been all about anyway, after all. So hooray for us. Hooray for us. We can stitch this up with the needle and thread, and now it's stitched, we'll rebandage, and we're safe. We're still sick, and that's really the last thing that's gonna remain with us, and we're just weak as hell. But that's a life, you know? Not a great life, but it is a life. Now, we've managed to avoid starvation and a lot of other perils. I'm just gonna sit on the ground here for a minute. We won't die. We won't die, and we can actually stay here for quite a while. In theory, we might even be able to stay here forever. We lost a kilogram of weight, not great, but we won't start taking damage until we either don't have any food, which we should as long as we still have this trowel. You know, we're not gonna die. We have taken care of really a lot of short-term and long-term needs. Obviously, it's not a great life situation. We sleep in a chair. I still have an infected crotch. I drink out of a water dispenser. Water would eventually become, you know, deadly if we can't find any renewable source of water. But we do have these potatoes and cabbages, and our life may get better. The main thing that's going to prevent us from going back to town is just the fact that there's such an ass load of zombies there. We need more strength and fitness if we want to get better, so we're going to need to do some working out next. So for lack of a better idea, I'm just going to start a fitness montage. We're going to do some burpees on the ground. Get ready. We're going to do 60 minutes worth of them. Even though that we don't have enough food to really recover from these burpees, we're going to do them anyway until we have some basic strength. And then after that, we're going to eat some worms. And then we're going to see if we can find some, like, potato chips and actual potatoes to eat that we plant in the ground. Once we do all of that, we will sleep for a few days and then maybe be passable in handling ourselves against zombies, because right now it's just a bit of a shit show, as you may have noticed when I went in to fight those last 10 or so. So I think we're gonna end it there. Zero to hero character. He's making his way up in the world. He's tearing clothes off of people. Hell of a guy. As always, my name's ambiguousamphibian. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to be back with more Project Zomboid, especially as the weather updates come. I'm pretty hyped for those. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.